I have a lot to say of what they did to Musa in the reboot, both in terms of her design and personality. Why is Musa the sweet one and not Flora? Musa was never a kind and sweet girl. She was bold, blunt, sarcastic, and one of the biggest divas in the WINX franchise. She always had a sharp tongue, and she was never afraid to call people out when they deserved it.
Would you maybe have preferred a different color?
Your hoverbike did have a problem. This!
And this is precisely what I'm talking about. Where did our savage music go? Anyways, hello and welcome to my channel. This is part 4 of my WINX CLUB Civilian Redesign Series. If you haven't watched the other styles for the WINX, you can go ahead and watch them on the playlist I did for this series. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Melissa, also known as Lisa Annie Art. I'm a character designer, concept artist, and 2D animator. A lot of you on my recent posts voted for Musa, so that's who I will be redesigning today. I will be combining elements from both her original and reboot designs while keeping the music-inspired style that makes her so iconic. Here are some of the references I collected for Musa before starting the redesign process. But now let's go to the drawing part. Just like in the other videos, I always go with what I had in my head and combine both aspects of what I liked from the reboot and original. For her hair, I added sidebands. I feel this look fits her so much better than her reboot hairstyle, and the reason that they didn't give her the spiky pigtails or longer hair is because I've always adored Musa with this hairstyle more than the others. It just feels right to me. For the top, I kept some elements of her original designs but made it shorter and added long sleeves around the neck. I incorporated aspects of traditional Chinese clothing as a nod to her Chinese heritage. When it came to the bottom section, I was having some difficulty deciding what to draw at first, but then I found this pants design. I feel like it embodies Musa's personality really well. And of course, I added a belt with an M music note, similar to the one she has in the reboot design. For the colors, I kept the same palette she has always had while incorporating the grayish tones featured in the reboot. Then for this second design, I took inspiration for the hair from Roberta's hairstyle in RBD, also called Rebelde. I always compare them both because they fell in love with major red flags. For the bottom section, I gave her shorts. For the shoes, I used this image as reference. As for the top, I wasn't entirely sure what would go well with the rest of the outfit, so I ended up combining elements from these two designs into one. I also added fingerless fishnet gloves to give her a more stylish and edgy look. For the colors, I chose a more vibrant shade of pink and also some shade of purples, while keeping the same color pattern in her hair. Once again, I was inspired by Roberta's iconic red coontail highlights, but instead of red, I used a vibrant pink. For this third design, I decided to give her long hair with the side bangs combining elements of both her long and short hairstyles from the original series. For the bottom section, I was thinking that either way, I feel that pants fits Musa the best. Besides this, I also love the fishnet details on the gloves, so I added that in her stomach section. Once I started with this design, I noticed that Musa was showing a lot of skin on her legs on the second one, and it didn't really feel like her to me. Because of that, I added leggings with music note patterns similar to this image to better reflect her personality and musical theme. But let's continue with the third design. This time, I went for a more formal and tomboyish look by giving her a short sleeved shirt with a tie. I also kept some design elements that I liked from the second concept, like the shirt and the fingerless fishnet gloves. For the colors, I tried to incorporate more aspects of the reboot design, but it ended up featuring more red and black than pink, which gave her a slightly gothic vibe. And to finalize the redesign, I combined all my favorite elements from the three concepts into one outfit. I definitely prefer her wearing pants rather than shorts, so I kept that aspect for both. For the top, I merged elements from design A and C, creating a short sleeve crop top with a sweetheart neckline. I was still in awe with the hairstyle in design A, so I kept it. For additional details, I love the musical note theme on her leggings for design B. But instead of placing it on her leggings, I added it to her shirt, including the M note just like her reboot design. For the colors, I kept her signature red and black palette but added the grayish tone from the reboot. For some reason, I really love that color on her. I'm not entirely sure why, but I think it complements her overall design very well. And the final result feels like a good balance between the original and my own personal interpretation of the character. And here's the final redesign for Musa. I really hope you all like the final version. Let me know what you think of the redesign and if there's anything you will have changed about her look or style. And for today's question, who is your favorite specialist? For me, well, since my favorite wings is Flora, I guess my answer was kind of obvious. Yup, it's my boy Helia. And no, I am not starting the conversation about what they did to him in the reboot. I'm just glad they barely touched his design because it's still intact and a masterpiece, not AI slop, right? Anyways, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so that other Wings fans enjoy this type of content.